Hi friends, so this is part 4 of my altered art journal cover. Now there was a little mishap in my last video. It cut off while I was still painting and talking, and I think I just had too many videos on my device, so it cut off and I was really bummed out about it. But what I'm gonna do is, because I don't want to get rid of all the videos I have made thus far in this series, I'm just gonna explain to you what I did after the video got cut off. And so hopefully that can kind of salvage this series so I don't have to delete all the other previous videos. So anyways, what I did is I wasn't liking that lighter colored background that was on the bottom here, and there was also that cashew in the background here. So I took my ultramarine blue and I mixed it with some of this turquoise over here, and I need another layer anyway, so I'm gonna add the other layer. So all I did is I mixed the ultramarine blue and the turquoise, and it just gave me this really rich blue that I really love. So I'm just gonna add another layer. And also what I did is I added some of this collage over here. I added some of that over here to the top of her head and to this piece of her dress over here and the bottom part, and then I used some of the turquoise paint and I just kind of went over it a little bit over here, and I penciled in some of her facial features with first a Stabilo pencil and then using this Velocity pen. So I'm really sorry about that. I don't know. It just cut off, and you can tell in my last video because I just posted it as is. I didn't edit it, so you can see while I'm talking it just cut off. And I was talking actually about Connie Solera and how she had taught us that when we paint from our intuitive self, we actually go really, really slow. Because I was talking about how I had developed this belief or picked up this belief somewhere that when you work intuitively, you go really, really fast. It was just like a tornado kind of thing. Like you listen to something and you do it, and it's just like this. And she said, no, when you paint intuitively, it's a very, very slow process because you're having a conversation with parts of your painting, and you're listening to your painting in the sense of, so you put something down, a color, a mark, a figure, whatever it is, and then you listen to what the painting needs next. So it's a conversation, and it's a slow, deep honoring of what you're listening to. So that was really eye-opening for me, and it changed my painting process. And so it really taught me a lot, because I don't know where I picked up that belief, but I was operating from that belief as if it was true. And it's interesting because I'm sure there are so many parts of our life where we do that, where we have a belief and we just take it for the truth, not questioning whether it is in fact true and if it serves us, and we just operate on that belief system that could very well be a false belief system. So it was just very eye-opening for me. And I think it's very important that we question our beliefs and just even become aware of our beliefs, not only in life, but specifically with creativity, because we might think, well, we can't paint things a certain way, or we can't, use these colors, or whatever it might be, and we have to question, where are those beliefs coming from? And are they true? You know, is it true that you can't paint a pink sky? Well, no, it's not true. We might have learned that somewhere, but it is not true. You can paint a pink sky. So it's just a very simple thing, but once you become aware of it, it is very deep and all-encompassing, because it can really help you in your creative life and in life in general, actually, because that holds true for all aspects of life. So that's what I did, is I just, even though I said I wanted to keep the back and the front separate, I didn't want them to be a cohesive cover, I'm really liking this a lot more now, where I have joined the back and the front by the blue background here. So I'm really liking that. And I'm gonna pull some of that into there. Okay, and then what I did is I just used a Stabilo and I penciled in some of her facial features, and and I used this marker over here to like, you know, make her lips more defined. And I'm gonna use this pen to kind of fill in her eyes there. And so I'm not sure if I do want to put facial features on her or not, or if I just want to kind of keep it like the other ones. And I think I'm going to keep it like the other ones. So what I might do is just add some lines here. Excuse me. And so now I'm going to shape her head a little bit more and decide, like, do I want her to have, like, say something on her head, or do I want to make her have hair? And I'm not really sure. I think because I don't have a lot of room up here, like to put a crown or flowers or something like that, I think I'm just gonna kind of draw her hair. So I think I'm just gonna do a very stylized kind of a, okay, that's gonna be her hair over there. So this is just like a very stylized hair situation, and I want it to be circular, so it looks like it resembles a little bit like a halo. So what I might do is, I'm wondering if I should use some more of this collage. So I'm gonna cover up that part of the collage because this is her hair right here. So I want this collage that is part of her hair to really stick out, and I think I'm gonna have to add some collage here. Now another thing I do before I forget, let me just show you, is, see, I have a little bit of extra paint on my brush, and like you can take this paintbrush and you can dip it in the water and clean the brush out, or you can pull out a piece of your collage and just kind of make some marks and just get rid of the paint. And then the next time you go to use a piece of collage, well, you've got a piece of paper that has some of your marks on it, and it might be perfect for something that you're doing. So that's just another small little trick. You don't have to do that. You can just wash off your paintbrush. But I always like to use up all my paints. And it's really a creative way to use your mark making in and create your own collage without putting too much effort into it, because you're just cleaning out your brush. So I'm not sure if I want to do that. Okay, so I think I am going to do that. So I'm going to add this collage right here. And so this is all Mod Podge, and I'm just going to do that. And just kind of rip up these pieces so that it fits in there. So another thing that I learned along the way that I just wanted to share is I used to wear my jewelry when I was making art for the longest time. And then what happened is I got something on a bracelet of mine that I couldn't get off. And it was a gorgeous handmade beaded bracelet. And when I was trying to get it off, the whole thing broke. And I was just heartbroken because it had a lot of sentimental value to me. So from then on, I just stopped using my, wearing my jewelry when I was painting, because a lot of this stuff is really messy and, you know, it's artist quality paints and it's staining and gooey and hard to get out. So I stopped wearing my jewelry when I'm painting after that. Okay, so I'm kind of really liking that. So we'll just let that dry. And I'm using this blue over here to just give the hair some definition, because that's the background. So I'm just giving the hair some definition over there. And there we go. So what I am going to do now is work a little bit on her face. And I don't want it to be too fussy and stilted, but I do want it to have a little bit of definition. So I'm just gonna kind of layer some of that burnt sienna there. And a good, if this was an inside page, I might use some oil pastels, but I don't want to use it on the cover like I mentioned, because I don't want it to smudge, and it will smudge. So I'm just using a small brush and just kind of giving her face a little bit of definition here. Nothing too crazy, because this is a very loose kind of a situation. Now I do want to paint the inside of her eyes white, just to make it like pop a bit. And whenever I find like I'm getting too fussy, like I feel like I'm getting too fussy with this, that's a sign for me to just kind of like leave it alone, because when I get too fussy, then it's like, oh, I don't want it to be too tight. So I'm just gonna kind of do it very lightly, because I don't want it to be like too stilted. Okay. And I'm just gonna make that pop out a little bit. So I feel like I'm overworking her a little bit, so it can be kind of addictive to just keep on working and working and working it, but I'm just gonna let it alone. And I think I'm gonna add some pops of gold here. And I don't know if I want the pops of gold to be, I think because, you know, I wanted the hair to look like a halo, so I think I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm just going to kind of dip it and go like that, so it follows her hair. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, but in the final, but I'm kind of liking that. And again, because I don't want to waste this gold paint, I'm just going to kind of put it on my collage paper like that for future use of my collage. So that's going to go there. And as you can see, she's really coming along. And I'm just going to get some definition here. And this isn't completely dry, so it's going to be hard for me to work on this the way I want to, but I can try. This is a Stabilo, so it does go on pretty much anything. So as you can see, this is very stylized. Like, it's not, you know, a realistic painting of a figure. And, you know, is it done? I'm not sure. I think it needs a little bit of something. And I think what I'm gonna do is, so this is my washi tape collection here, and I think what I'm gonna do is just try to find a tape. Now this is a fabric tape, and I kind of like that against there actually. So I'm gonna just pull out a few different tapes and patterns and what have you, and just see. No, I don't like that. I don't want it to like dominate the page and take away from the figures. So I think the one that I picked is a good, I like this one. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know, it might be too busy. I'm not sure, but it's just washi tape. So if I don't like it, I can always, like, you know, cover it up with something else, with another washi tape. But for right now, I think, okay, I'll go with this. See if I like it or not. So I'm just gonna like take it out here and kind of lay it down like that on the spine. And then later on, I can even get different pieces of washi tape and put it on the vertical, like put it this way like that, and that might give it like a little bit of a, let's see here. I've got way too many art supplies, honestly. I never thought I'd ever say that, but I really do. So maybe something, yeah, I kind of like this one here. So this is just a, I don't know if it's, there we go. So it's just a very, you know, neutral color, and I can go like that. Now I might have to cover this whole page with a varnish or a Mod Podge. Like I can just put Mod Podge over the whole thing when everything is completely dry, and that way it will seal all the colors and it's just gonna seal everything. And so I might do that. I might do that because that will kind of keep everything together. And so I think I'm happy with my page right here. And see, here I am fiddling again with it, but I just kind of want to, so I want to kind of work on her eyes a little bit here. So I'm going to add some of this ink chalk paint just to make the eyes pop a little bit there. And then just bring some light into her eyes right there. And so I think that this altered book cover is completely done. And like I said, I might add like a varnish or a sealer over top of it, just to make sure that everything stays like with this washi tape, this looks very, like it just doesn't look like it's gonna stay. So actually, let me try to apply some of this. I don't know if that's gonna work because the spine needs to be flexible, because you know it's gonna like be opening and closing, so I don't know if this is gonna work, me putting glue on here. I just don't know, but I'm gonna try it out. Yeah, I just don't think that's gonna work. It looks nice, but I just don't think it's gonna work for a practical reason. Like it's just the spine, it's just not gonna, it's not gonna give, which makes me sad because I really did like that, you know, vertical, those vertical lines over there. I did really like it, but that's okay. I am still very pleased with my cover. And so this is the final part of altering the cover for my art journal. So I hope you followed along, and I'm really sorry about the part 3 video, how it just cut off like that, and I hope that I bridged the gap between what got cut off and then what came on when I started recording this video. So I hope you followed along, and I hope you got something out of this video, and thank you so much for watching my series, if you did watch my series, and we'll see you again. Bye.